Ready to ditch the traditional cruise experience? In this episode, we're diving into Virgin Voyages, the adults only cruise line that's redefining sailing with bold entertainment, next level dining, and an all inclusive vibe that covers Wi Fi, tips, basic beverages, and even group fitness classes. If that's your jam. Plus, we'll break down the bar tab, the uniquely adult themed nightlife, and why this might just be your next dream getaway.
Ready for your fast pass to unforgettable adventures? Welcome to Talk Travel to Me. Featuring our Mickey Guru Travel Company expert travel advisors, this podcast will guide you in traveling with more ease, confidence, and a sprinkle of magic. Tune in for unique insights, insider info, tips, and personal travel stories that'll transform your journeys into exhilarating moments and lifelong memories. Fasten your seatbelt, grab your passport, let's embark, and let's talk travel.
Welcome aboard, everyone. I'm Christy Willett, your host of the Talk Travel to Me podcast, and today we're setting sail on an exciting conversation all about Virgin Voyages, the cruise line that's throwing out the traditional rulebook and redefining what it means to cruise. From elevated dining and edgy entertainment options to the unique stateroom designs that are all part of the adult-only vibe that's anything but ordinary. There's so much to unpack. Joining me today are two fantastic travel experts from Mickey Guru Travel Company who know Virgin Voyages inside and out. First up, we have Shalon Still. Shalon, tell us a little bit about yourself and what excites you most about Virgin Voyages.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shalon Still, and I've been a Mickey Guru travel agent for the past 2 years. I currently live in Arizona with my husband, Mike, but I'm originally from West Virginia, so go Mountaineers. The thing I love the most about Virgin Voyages is how they are trying to break the mold of traditional cruising. From everything that they include to the amazing food that they have, I think they're becoming one of my favorites.
And we also have Lacie Flake with us. Lacie, welcome. Tell us what draws you to Virgin Voyages and why you wanted in on this episode.
Hey everybody, I'm Lacie, a almost 2-year Mickey Guru travel advisor now. I am a Mississippi girl born and raised, wife of almost 20 years to my husband Justin. We have 3 children, and what really draws me to Virgin Voyages is the fact that there are no children. It's great. Very calm, relaxing environment. I love children, but as a school administrator and as a mom of 3, I'm around them every single day. So to be on a cruise ship with a bunch of adults and not have to deal with children all the time is a nice break. I also love the food on Virgin Voyages. It is just absolutely top notch.
And I'm Christy, owner and founder of Mickey Guru Travel Company. I live in Southern New Hampshire with my husband and frequent travel buddy Eric, along with our daughter. So far, I've sailed with Virgin Voyages 3 times, most recently just a week ago. Needless to say, I'm deep in the throes of post-cruise depression, and let's be honest, this podcast episode might just be my version of therapy. Now that we've got our crew together for this episode, let's dive into what makes Virgin Voyages such a game changer in the cruise world.
So Virgin Voyages, they currently have 3 ships sailing, and they like to call their ships the lady ships. And I absolutely love that. So currently they have the Scarlet Lady, the Valiant Lady, and the Resilient Lady. Their fourth, the Brilliant Lady, is actually going to be debuting this fall in September 2025, doing some North American sailings, and I'm very excited about that. The thing I mentioned about them breaking the mold is how they are changing traditional cruising in all kinds of ways because they include so much in their cruise fare, which we will talk about later. The type of dining that they offer is completely different than all other cruise lines out there. And I think my personal favorite is the different style of shows that they offer. For example, they have one show that is basically a Cirque du Soleil style retelling of Romeo and Juliet, and it's absolutely incredible.
I love that you love that because I can't stand it.
It's very unique. It's not what I expected, and I've seen it twice now, and absolutely, it's amazing.
I think it's one of those scenarios that, like, if you like Cirque du Soleil, you will love that show. I don't care for that type of entertainment. So Eric loves it, and I know lots of people that do, that it's very well done. I just would rather sit in my hammock. So that's where I come in on that one.
It is definitely very different than any other show I've ever seen aboard a cruise ship, for sure. Very unique twist.
But I do love, again, just how they're breaking the mold of everything. They're being more modern looking forward, I think, on like
Right.
just the way the rooms are designed, the way they design the experience for cruisers as well. It's a lot less stressful and it's a lot less pay to play, which some cruise
Mhm.
lines seem to be now, where you think you're getting in on a certain price, and then by the end of your cruise, you spent thousands of more dollars because you had to add on so much. And with Virgin, you don't have that. The only thing you got to pay extra for are alcoholic beverages, but they have a way to cover some of that, which we'll talk about. And then also excursions. So other than that, you know what you're getting into basically from day one, which is great.
Yeah, and the ship is definitely these ships because they all look the same, which is something that I find a little disappointing because I will tell you I don't really know which ship I'm on when I get on there because they're all exactly the same, which can be comforting to some people because you know where, you go to the social club, you know where it is. But they designed it to be more like a boutique hotel than traditional cruise ship. So the whole feel of it is different, and I do like that it's something unique out there for sure. So Lacey, what is included on a Virgin Voyage?
So many great things are included on a Virgin Voyage, like Shalon said, that make it so easy to just get on the ship and sail without having to worry about paying for extra things like basic Wi-Fi or gratuities, things such as group fitness or dance parties. Um, your basic beverages such as sodas, where you normally have to pay for those soda packages and fresh juices and things like that. They're all included, as well as your fine dining that you normally have to book and pay an extra fee for. That is all included. Such a nice treat to not have to worry about coming out of pocket with those expenses while on board.
I love that Virgin Voyages says when they include the Wi-Fi, it's a basic human right to have Wi-Fi. And I'm here for
Right.
that because while I love unwinding and disconnecting while I'm on a vacation, sometimes I still like to be connected. So it's nice to have that price included because if you've sailed other cruise lines, when you pay for their Wi-Fi packages, it is expensive. You're looking at hundreds of dollars sometimes for a 3 or 4 night cruise, which is absolutely insane.
Right. And even the beverage packages can get really expensive if you have a large party. Lots and lots of money coming out of pocket for those bubbles.
Hey travelers, just popping in real quick to share our review of the week. It truly means so much to us to hear your thoughts on the podcast, and from now on, we'll be featuring one review in each episode. This week's review is titled Fun Travel Podcast. They wrote, the first couple of episodes are out and I'm hooked. Loving the banter and natural chemistry of the co hosts. Can't wait for more. Thank you so much for your kind words. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a review. It might just be featured next time. All right, let's get back to the episode. So, one of the things that I especially like about Virgin Voyages is how they handle their alcohol packages and specialty beverages like coffees and squeezed juices, things like that. On a more traditional cruise line, you usually have a beverage package and you pay ahead of time. And quite honestly, it's an exorbitant fee. And you have to, like on a Royal Caribbean cruise, I love them too, but you pay tons of money to have a package that includes alcohol, so much so that you usually have to drink between 8 and 10 a day to break even. Now, I know some of you all can do that. And more power to you. You're not driving, you're not responsible for anybody, but I can't. So the way Virgin does it with a bar tab, which is a prepaid bar tab experience where you decide ahead of time while you're still on land how much money you want to spend on your beverages, and then you buy a bar tab. They'll put a credit on your room, and every time you're buying a drink, it just subtracts from that. Most typically, people start with like a $250, and Virgin will usually kick in an extra 50, so you've got a $300 bar tab. That goes a long way. On our sailing, we were on for 4 nights, and we ended up with a $350 bar tab. And that was actually, we didn't pay anything for it. It was a perk for being on our third cruise. And they also do status match with other cruise lines. So it makes you feel like you're real. Like I was like, ooh, look at me and my extra bar tab and my priority access to the terminal. we couldn't spend it. So that's one of the things to really think about when you're buying your bar tab. The drinks are relatively inexpensive. And so the two of us over the course of 4 nights didn't even spend $250. And we
Mm.
had a lot of coffee and a lot of specialty, like non-alcoholic drinks, mocktails. And then my husband really does like his bourbon. And we tried. One night we were like, let's see how much bar tab we can get through. We had two drinks. That was it. We're lightweight when it comes to that. But the way they handle it is perfect because you don't feel like I've got to drink 10 drinks in order to get my money's worth. So you see people being, they're having fun, enjoying it, but they're not going overboard to try to get their money's worth, which I really like.
I like to, when I did my cruise, we had a ton of money because they status matched my other cruise line statuses that I had. And we got towards the end of our cruise and kind of had the same thing. We had a lot of money left. So instead, like you said, most of the drinks are a reasonable price, but
Mhm.
they do have some top shelf drinks that you can get. So one night I had a lot of money left to spend and I had a glass of Dom because when else am I ever going to buy a glass of that bubbly at that price? And my
Yeah.
husband had some expensive whiskeys and tequilas because you have that there. So it's nice you can do that. And I also like about the bar tab versus a drink package is drink packages, they usually make everybody in the room buy the same one because you
Yeah.
can't share it with each other. But a bar tab, it's just the money is loaded onto your room account and you can buy drinks for the people you're traveling with. You can buy drinks for strangers if you want, which is great. I know you've done that, Christy, where you did the shake for
Yeah.
champagne and handed it off to somebody. So it's kind of fun to be like, I got this round if you make some new friends on the cruise.
And I also like the fact that you can use that money on your bar tab for non-alcoholic beverages as well, like specialty coffees.
Hmm.
As someone who doesn't drink, I love a good coffee. And so I'm not above going and buying a coffee at the grounds club and sipping on that for a while.
Did you
And they
try a lot
really,
of their mocktails?
I have not.
I had several mocktails last cruise because like I couldn't drink more alcohol after a certain point. I'm like you, Christine, like I can have some, but I need a break. So I was like, I want a mocktail to have something fun, and they were delicious.
I bet. I should have actually done that, but I didn't even think about it. I was just
next
happy with
time.
the Diet Coke. Right, next time.
Next time.
Although there are so many things that are included with Virgin Voyages, there are a few things that are not, that are optional. Pay pay along the way as you like. Upgraded Wi-Fi. I know that my husband did pay for upgraded Wi-Fi because he had something come up and he needed to increase his Wi-Fi capability in order to download something, and it was something important. And he was like, "I hate to pay for this because we have free basic Wi-Fi, but I really have to get this." So it was nice to have that option, and we were able to pay for it individually and not again like some cruise lines. More people, everyone has to pay for it. We were able
Hmm.
to just buy it for him, so that was nice. Specialty drinks, like we already talked about, with alcohol, coffee, fresh squeezed juices, all come at a price, but can be bought with bar tab money. So that's very nice. Your spa treatments, of course, are extra. And Shalon, was it you that was talking the other day about the beards, the men's?
Yes, my husband did
Yeah,
the
the
man
barber.
pampering at the barber on board Virgin, and he absolutely loved that. It was well worth the money spent. It was like 90 minutes. It was crazy.
That is so cool. I've never seen that on another cruise line.
It was like a full haircut,
Seen that.
beard, and then like facial stuff. And then they were even like massaging his arms at one point when I walked by, and he had like towels from head to toe over him. I'm like, what is happening? It looked like a mummy, but he was so relaxed.
Such a cool
I love
experience.
that for him.
And of course, shore excursions. Virgin offers lots of shore excursions, which come at an additional cost, except for the things at Bimini Beach Club, which is an amazing and beautiful destination that is included with your Virgin cruise.
I want
Yeah,
to go
the
back
one
to the
thing,
Wi-Fi because I feel like the upgraded Wi-Fi was actually really good. Because I had it as part
Yes.
again of status matching, and you can stream stuff with it. So if you need to do Zoom calls or something, if you're working or if you want to download movies, you can absolutely do that with the upgraded Wi-Fi.
Yes, it was really, really great Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and I would say that do not sleep on that status matching because the amount of perks that we get, Shalon has more cruises on Disney than I have, but even if you're just a silver castaway member, they do the match. And it allowed us to get free laundry service. We got the free premium Wi-Fi. We got 2 free coffees every day. That was really cool. So the fact that they do that because they were encouraging people to come over and give Virgin a try, to show them what the difference is, which has been, really helpful. But it also, my best perk of that status match is actually that priority boarding because I
Oh
walked
yeah.
right up to the thing and felt like I was a rock star. I wasn't, maybe on my next one, but I got to enter like the priority line and I was really happy about that. I like the bougie touches. So speaking of rock stars, let's talk a little bit about the cabin situation on Virgin because these cabins are very well appointed. And there are a variety of options. So if we start at the top, we have mega rockstar quarters, and then we have rockstar quarters. So those are the two concierge level accommodations. They're suites. I have had the privilege of touring them on Scarlet Lady, and I will tell you, it's a life goal. Like,
Indeed. Yep.
and the funny thing is, I usually like a really upgraded suite, but I will say that the one that I think I will get on first is going to be just the Rockstar Cheeky Corner Suite because the balcony on that thing is bigger than most of my house. Like, I'm not
That's
even
what I was
kidding
going to
you.
say.
It's
Yes.
huge.
I would do cheeky corner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Imagine
not
laying on
even
that hammock.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hammocks, we'll talk about that. All of the staterooms, I should say most of the staterooms, because there are a few that don't have the hammocks, but the staterooms that have balconies, a large percentage of them come with this red hammock that just hangs there in the moonlight and you can
Oh.
just enjoy. It is like I mean, like if you guys could see our faces right now, we're all pretending we're back in these hammocks because they're that awesome.
And
Um,
they're not the kind of hammock that will flip you out. They're the kind that hug your body
Cradles
just
you.
perfectly and they make you feel so, yes, just like a baby being swaddled. They are
Yeah.
wonderful.
It's an adult swaddle. I love it.
And on this last cruise, I did it again where I fell asleep in the hammock at night. And Eric literally brought me the little blanket from the bed, and I slept out there
Mhm.
most of the night. And it was
Oh,
amazing. Like, just so cool. Very comfortable for
and that
sure.
blanket, that is the softest blanket.
They
I
had
know
them
that you
for
can purchase
sale.
them also. Yeah.
I almost
Yes.
did, but I need a
Goals for next
blanket.
time.
I need a blanket like a hole in the head. So, like, I didn't,
Same.
but I wanted it. It was
So
gorgeous.
soft.
So we have solo insiders and we have insiders. So those are cabins that are the small inside ones. A lot of cruise lines don't have accommodations for solo travelers, but Virgin does, which is fabulous.
Right.
And then we also have the Sea View, which is a cabin that has just the view outside, like a porthole window type of thing. We have Sea Terrace and we have an extra large Sea Terrace. And then we go up into the rock stars and mega rock stars. Have you guys ever sailed in a sea terrace or an extra large sea terrace or both?
I've done
Yes.
both.
We've done the extra large.
Don't ever go back. Don't go back.
I don't think you can downgrade once you've been there.
The XL's so much better. I like the layout better.
Right.
The
They felt
bathroom,
so
like that extra
spacious.
space. Yeah. The extra space you have in the bathroom and the separate area for the shower and the toilet being separate, because in the other one, it's like the toilet's out with the sink in the regular sea
Right.
terrace. So you have a little bit more privacy, even though usually it's just two people in the room. You might have three in some cases if you're sailing with friends, but it's just nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the shower was really big. Very,
It
very
was huge.
comfortable and made for big and tall people. Just comfortable.
Water pressure,
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
Rain shower.
Yeah.
So I will say I had the extra large sea terrace on my first cruise, and the second two, this last one and the one before, I had just a sea terrace. I'm not a fan of the downgrade. The shower
Yeah.
is considerably smaller.
Mhm.
And then, like Shalon said, that the combo having the shower tub, not tub, shower, toilet, sink area, kind of like all together-ish, that was a problem for me. It is
Yeah.
only the two of us, but one sailing we had our daughter with us, and that was very difficult because it's like you can't get dressed, you can't like all of the things just made it more
Mhm.
complicated. So extra large tea terrace or that cheeky corner suite, like that's
Next
I
time
really.
I'm going Rockstar. I don't care. Don't care what it takes. It's happening.
Hmm.
Just do it.
And I will say, I think that like the cost now, the mega rock stars, they're very pricey, right? I'm not going to mislead anybody. They're pricey. I think they're
Right.
worth it having seen those rooms, but the cheeky corner suite, I think, is reasonable for what you get. Like that's as long as you book it out further in advance, I think that like that really it is a good value for what you get. So that is an opportunity. I like that idea.
Absolutely. And speaking about value of what you get, I want to circle back to the dining that's included. They absolutely have my favorite included cruise food of any cruise line I've been on so far. And that's
Yes.
saying a lot. So, going back to kind of how their dining works, first and foremost, they do not have a buffet on board. And I absolutely love that. They have instead what's called the galley. And it's kind of like a food hall where you go to the different stalls. You can order different things from each one. You can get one from one thing, whatever, but it's all made fresh. And that's really nice. So it's not been sitting there under a heat lamp. You've not had people grabbing at it and making a mess of like a normal buffet because I hate that. That's the absolute worst. Um, so that place is probably one of my favorites to go to all throughout the day because it's open most of the day. And I think the thing I loved the most was that they always had a sushi station going, so you could grab little
Yeah.
bento boxes. And because they're in boxes, you can also take them back to your room and put them in your refrigerator in the room. So if you have like a late night munchies or something later, you can do that. And then also, we love the ramen, which
Yes, the
was
ramen. Oh, that's so
was so
good.
good. And then they did have like a 24-hour like food hall burger joint where you could get like breakfast and burgers and stuff like that, kind of 24 hours. I think it was mostly breakfast was 24 hours because Virgin ships are a little bit later ships than most. So that's nice that they have that option. And then when it comes to like the main dining that people typically think about, that you go, oh, you got your main dining room every night, instead of going to one big dining hall, you now have six specialty restaurants on board, and they're all included. All you have to do is make sure that you are getting reservations for those. And when we work with our clients, we actually help them to let them know what the options are and even, help book theirs for them if they need that assistance for us. And my favorite, probably, of those specialty included restaurants is actually Gun Bay, which is the Korean barbecue place. And I'm sure you two have been there and loved it too, just as much, because they cook the food right in front of you, but it's like an interactive show too.
Yes, and the food was so good. So good. And it was Gun Day was also a cool experience because of the people that you got to sit with and everyone got to partake and pass around and try different things and really, really unique experience. I don't know about you guys, but we had the coolest chef that was, cooking for us and he just made the whole experience even that much more fun.
Absolutely. And if you do partake in adult beverages, they do offer I won't ruin what happens, but they do offer one free drink for everybody. But it's a fun, interactive way to get your drink, and it's a good way to ice break. So I always tell people if you're not cruising with a group of friends because you're going to get seated with new people, it's good to do gun bay the first night because that's a good way to meet new people on your cruise, and you may start running into them the rest of the time. So it's just like a good way to make new friends.
Yes, that's really good advice. We met some people who were from really close to our home at Gun Bay. And it was funny
Oh, that's
because we were
awesome.
like, "Oh, you went to college here? And what? So and so." And really cool experience. And we got to see them several times.
I will say, and you guys will not be surprised at this, the food at Gun Bay was not my favorite.
No
Um,
chicky
I,
tenders.
yeah, no chicky tenders. But I will say the atmosphere was definitely fun.
Yep.
And we enjoyed that and the kind of the games that you play and stuff. And the chef was a hoot. But yeah, I think part of me, the struggle for me on Virgin is as a picky eater. It's not as easy to find, although I have to say, it was about 2 years between my second sailing and my third. They've done a lot by way of picky eaters. They had a lot more, including when I was on 2 years ago. I couldn't get just a basic grilled chicken breast. And this time I absolutely could. Every time I went to the galley, they had grilled chicken. And I was like, thank goodness. Just because I'm not picky, I struggled.
Yeah,
But this time I decided I was going to try things that I'd never tried before. And one of the best parts about cruising is if you don't like it, you just put it to the side and try something else. And they're great
Right.
at that for sure.
absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, they have so many others. I won't cover all the restaurants, but they have like a Mexican restaurant on board, which is probably my favorite. Like, absolutely amazing. Italian restaurant on board, which was
Mhm.
delicious. One that's more vegetarian forward. They still do have meat items on that menu. It's called the naughty menu, which is really fun, little nautical wordplay. Um, my least favorite, though, just personally for me, was the steakhouse. And I felt like it was kind of a miss for dinner. I don't know if it was just a one-off for that cruise. I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't terrible by any means, but just if I had to rank as my least favorite, it was definitely the wake, the steakhouse. But caveat, it is great for brunch. So
Yes.
I would choose it for brunch every time on a cruise.
Very good at brunch. And did you guys have the room service
I
on
still have
Virgin?
not. I still
I
have
have
not.
not.
That was the coolest experience. The way that they brought it in, it's in like a cinch bag. And you undo the bag and you have these red and white bowls that are stacked, layered on top of one another with lids. And it's like opening one of those little doll boxes where like you open one box and it's something else, and then you open another box and and it was such a cool experience to just see what was in there. It was not messy. You didn't have to worry about it being spilled before it got to you or getting cold before it got to you because it was all contained in that bag and in individual bowls. And a tip that one of the other gurus actually shared with me to keep from paying that room delivery fee for room service, you just order a coffee and then the room service fee is waived. So kind of a cool little pro tip. It's cheaper than the room service fee to just buy the coffee.
Yeah, and you can use your bar tab to cover
Right.
that, right? So it could be coffee, it could be beer, any drink that has a cost to it. You use that and that goes towards that, and so your delivery is free, which
Yeah.
I did order it one night to be fair. I ordered it for breakfast and then we canceled it before it arrived in the morning because we realized we had enough time to get where we needed to go and went up to the galley for breakfast. But I have heard fabulous things about it and that it just, you could see them in the hallway in the morning, all the little cinch bags lined up because people are
Yes.
like, we were up too late last night. We would rather stay in bed and eat our food.
Absolutely. And then just a couple other places I like to mention is the pizza place on board. And so this is a grab and go. It's kind of like build your own pizza, like think Blaze or Mod or whatever you have in your city. Um, they're all individual personal size pizzas, but good size. You get like four big slices out of it. And they have kind of like recommendations of the day, or you can build your own. I did a seafood one, which most people would be like, oh my God, that's terrible. But it was
Yeah.
delicious. It was like shrimp and scallops with a white sauce and absolutely delicious. And then they also have a ice cream place on board, which most cruise lines do, but usually most cruise lines, their free ice cream is like crappy soft serve.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Maybe not crappy, but in my opinion, related to that versus this, you're getting like really scooped ice cream like gelato, and it is so good. And it's got
Yes.
some fun Instagrammable walls behind it too. Again, I won't spoil it until you go, or if you look it up, Google it. But it's fun.
Yeah, Eric got a orange ricotta. And he was
Ooh.
like, it was gone after the second day, and he kept going back. Do you have any more? Do you have any more? Because it was really good. And we might show you some pictures on our Instagram when you get this episode of the fun little wall art in that area, because it's one of my favorite things. And I actually use it as an example when I talk to clients about whether or not this cruise is for them. Because again, there's no kids. So there is adult references to things all over the place. And if that makes you not feel so good inside, you might want to avoid it. But for us, we just really think it's funny and we enjoy kind of like the jokes that come along with it for sure. I will say though, I know I was saying that I was picky and some of the food was hard to eat. That pizza place, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Fresh, good pizza. Love it. Before we keep going, I wanted to pop in and share some exciting news. Talk Travel to Me just hit 500 downloads. We're so grateful for all of you who tune in, and to celebrate, we're doing a listener giveaway. It's super easy to enter. Just hop on over to Instagram and be sure you're following us at Talk Travel to Me Pod and tag 3 friends in the comments of our giveaway announcement post. That's it. All right, let's get back to it.
So after enjoying some of this elevated dining aboard Virgin Voyages, we enjoy taking in some of the entertainment on board as well. So Scarlet Nights was a really fun experience where the whole ship lights up. The lights are red. Everyone is wearing red. All of the members of the happening cast are wearing red and they're dancing and encouraging you to dance. And there are life-size sea animal figurines that are red and everyone's just having a great time. A really, really cool experience, lots of performances. And there are people like juggling and doing magic tricks and things like that. Such a neat way to kick off the cruise. Another thing that we did not partake in, but we saw, my husband was a little fuddy-dud about this, was the PJ party.
Oh, I
So
went. It's so fun.
it looked like the best time. I mean, I had to go out and scope it out. You know, he wouldn't wear his PJs, and we were actually there around Christmas time, so it was a Christmas PJ. And I was
Oh.
like, "Oh, I want to do my Christmas PJs," but he wouldn't do it with me, so it wasn't as fun by myself. But that looked like such an amazing time.
It was really cool because everybody, it was like on the back of the ship if you saw when you went. But then
Yes.
I don't know if you caught the diva. The diva
Oh,
is like
yes.
key into that. So like the diva comes out and does like a little presentation, and then they had like a PJ contest basically, just kind of impromptu, where they picked people from the crowd to kind of be like, who has the best PJs here? And it's really cool too because they don't make you participate if you don't want. And I love that. They're like, if you want to
Yeah.
participate, you can. If not, that's fine. And they don't pressure people. But it was fun watching the PJ party. So definitely pack your fun PJs. And it can be anything. We saw sexy PJs and we saw people in like onesies and footy type PJs. I mean, it was like the whole gamut.
Yes, so much fun and so unique. One of my favorite onboard activities that we did though was dual reality. This was the neatest show. I didn't really know what to expect, and I kind of wanted it to be a surprise, so I didn't do a whole lot of research about it beforehand to get any spoilers or anything. And I don't want to spoil it here either, but that show was really, really cool. We enjoyed it a lot.
Did you go to the Untitled Dance Show party thing?
No, I did not. We missed that one somehow, but I heard
That,
people on
that's
board talking about how fabulous it was.
That's literally the name of it. I missed it my
Yeah.
first cruise because we were tired, but this cruise I just did in December, we went and you can explain it. I can't like explain it and spoil it because there's nothing to spoil. It's just pure chaos, but so much fun. So go see
Can't
it.
even give it a
Untitled
title.
Dancing Party.
I didn't see that either. And I will say, Eric and I, so you said fuddy-duddy about Justin, and I think we probably fall into that category. We were in bed most nights by 10. We're just
Right.
not into like the dancing scene or whatever, although we love people watching. So Scarlet Night was on point for people
Yes,
watching. And you see people
absolutely.
in gowns, like floor length gowns. And then we saw this one gentleman that I wanted to be friends with. Quite frankly, he was wearing this rhinestone, like smoking jacket kind of thing. He looked so good. He was wearing that with one of those fancy hats. I don't know what they're called, but that and basketball shorts and black slides. Like he
That's
was,
amazing.
but we were like, I was like, you look incredible. And he was like, I do, you're right. And I was
I
like,
love that.
okay. So fun. So even if you're not a person that wants to join in some of that stuff, it is definitely still fun to be on the outskirts of it and look at it. We are definitely more of the people that enjoy like the trivia games.
Right.
And we're bad at it. I will tell you, I lost every single one, but I love to play. And then we are also kind of the people that like will just sit on the outskirts and watch things. We did end up, because I was crazy, sitting front row to the Misbehave show. Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
Yes.
Front row center.
You're braver
Oh
than
no,
I am.
we were in the balcony. So did you get picked on?
A little bit. The gentleman that plays her assistant really took a liking to my husband, which was really fun. And like he's very good spirited. Like we may not like parties, but we can enjoy that kind of thing. And that was fun. This is I think the thing I'm picking up from you guys too. There I can't describe it. Like
No.
it was odd. There nothing like it that I've ever seen, but good and entertaining and a good use of an hour, hour and a half. Like great.
Yes, like it's not your typical run of the mill what you would expect from a show on a cruise ship. You can kind of
Yeah.
predict them to an
Hmm.
extent, but not on Virgin. I never predicted any of that. It was
No,
great. It was all great. Did you guys do the karaoke with the diva?
I didn't
I
participate, but I watched it a little bit in the
Right.
background.
Well, that's kind of that's kind of how I was too. Like Chrissy said, if you don't participate, at least go in and watch. And we did, and it was so funny and really good. Like the diva can sing.
oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I've done the diva bingo with the diva.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is fabulous. And for those of you that aren't aware, the diva is the drag queen on the ship. So that person does all kinds of different things. They do like one-off live music performances. They do the bingo. They do the karaoke. Um, she, they're one of the happening cast. So they're kind of like a little bit of everywhere. But oh my
Very
gosh,
entertaining.
yeah,
Yeah. My
Very,
favorite
very.
thing about the ship.
yep.
Yes. And did you guys do the groupie, the private karaoke?
Yes.
So
That's where I'll
much
Yes.
karaoke because nobody needs to hear this thing, but
right.
it's fun. I want to do it.
It's so much fun and the environment's cool. The room you're in is neat, but you know that no one can hear you except, your husband or whoever's in there with you. And you can
Yeah.
just belt it out with no fear. It's such a fun experience. That was really, really cool.
And I like that it's included. Again, like I know
Yeah,
we said that about a bunch of
exactly.
stuff, but you don't have to pay extra for that. But you can go in, you got to reserve your spot, but you go
Right.
in and you get to sing. We did like Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. Like there's no video of it, but we had so much fun. Just like you get to just play and have fun and not worry about. I could never do real karaoke because no, nobody wants to hear or see that. But that's like the perfect setup for that.
And my husband spent more time than he would probably admit in the free arcade. That's also
Oh my
included.
gosh. Yes.
Straight back to childhood. I
Yep.
mean, pinball machines, the whole 9 yards. It was so nostalgic and so much fun. And it's funny because you walk in there and everybody is grown. So you got all these adults and they're just living their best life and
Yeah.
channeling their inner child on those arcade games.
Yeah, and I love that. And again, there's no extra charge for it. So you don't need
Right.
quarters. You don't, it's like, remember how you go to the arcade and like the driving games are like, a dollar, $2 a piece. It's like you don't, you just sit down and we were racing each other and like all of that was so fun. And that's the vibe. There is no kids to fight over things. You're just like, no, we can do this. Donkey Kong all day long.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes. Miss
Absolutely.
Pac-Man.
I really do think that one of the big bonuses with Virgin is just the overall vibe of the ship. Everybody is there to have a good time. Everybody is there with a go with the flow attitude. And I will say, like, I'm closing in on 50. So my first Virgin cruise, I was a little nervous that I was too old, too square, like all of the things. When I tell you, there are hip people. There are hip people on that ship. Most of them work for the ship. Like they're part of the happenings cast. Um, but there were people that were in their 70s and 80s. There are
Yes.
people that are dancers, people that don't dance, like everything you could imagine, every race, color, read,
Mhm.
every creed, right? That's the word I was looking for.
Agreed.
Religious, non-religious, like there's just everybody. I was talking to a woman. I'm not a huge talker to people that I don't know, but I was sitting in the galley and I was waiting for Eric because he went off and looking for his sushi. And I started talking to her, and she was a born again Christian. And I was thinking to myself as she was talking, I'm like, on this ship. Interesting. She was like, I love all the Lord's people. She's like, and all of them are here. And I was like, all right. Like, this is fabulous. So it really is a place that like it's a melting pot and everybody's there to just to have a good
Yeah.
time.
And I like that
Right.
everybody's respectful too. I never felt any time that somebody was being disrespectful to anybody else for any reason whatsoever. Like, sometimes on other cruise lines who shall not be named, you see fights and things happening. I never saw a single thing happen on our cruise because everybody's just happy and they stay in their own lane. They're just good.
Yeah. I didn't even hear any cross words being exchanged on ours. But I do have a warning that surprised me very much. I don't know if you guys experienced this or not, but on deck 17, the perch. Yes, Shalon, did you experience it?
I didn't experience it because I knew ahead of time, and I tend to tell clients about this.
I
So,
had no idea, but I have been passing this information on because it caught me very off guard. So I went up to the perch to lay out in the sun on a sea day, and I turn over, like either from my stomach to my back or vice versa, and the lady behind me is lying there topless, completely topless. And I guess you saw the look on my face because it really, really caught me off guard. Like, I was not expecting
I
that
can see
at
your
all.
face right now. I can
And
picture it.
yes. And she said, this is a topless deck, right? And I said, no, I did not. But I'm not going to participate. And she was like, no, it's not required. Like, you don't have to be topless up here. But just so you know, like, there will probably be more people up here topless before it's over. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that is good to know. So my husband was actually on his way up there later. So I had to text him like, warning, warning, because I had no idea, none. Um, so beware, deck 17. You may or may not be next to topless people.
If you don't want tan lines, that's the place to be.
That's
So, but if
right.
not, just don't. And you can avoid it. Like you can easily not
Oh
be in that
yes,
area. So,
absolutely.
Listen,
Absolutely. But
I've
I
never
mean,
seen it up
yeah.
there. I tend to hide from the sun because I'm kind of translucent. So I go up to the perch at night and I will like read on my Kindle. Like that's like my a place to go sit up there. It's nice and quiet at night.
It is. It's so
So I've
peaceful.
not experienced that. Um, I will say what along a similar line, I had a client say to me, I can't go on Virgin, I'm not a swinger. And I went,
Huh?
I'm sorry, what? Did you think I'm a swinger? Like, I literally was like, it was hysterical. And she was like,
It
I've
is.
heard about those. And I was like, all right, let me get real with you. There are upside down pineapples on every cruise line, maybe not Disney, but people that are living that lifestyle cruise on Carnival, they cruise on Royal, they cruise everywhere. Virgin is absolutely not a swingers cruise line.
No.
Adults do what adults do, and if you're not into that, you're not into that. Like I've never been approached, I've never witnessed
Mm-mm.
anything. I do have a friend that was sitting at the bar one day and a gentleman asked her if her and her husband had plans for later that evening, but that was literally how they were asked. And
yeah,
she said,
yeah,
"Yes, we do. Thank you." And he was like, "Cool, have a great night." And like that was it. Like it was
yeah.
not
No pressure.
um and I will
Yeah.
even say
Right.
I have noticed on Royal, on certain ships and certain itineraries, I've actually seen door magnets of the upside down pineapples. I don't see that on Virgin. And I think Virgin had an issue with that eventually, or originally is the word I want to use. But I think
Mhm.
that's gone away. Shalana, did you see it? Have you seen it?
I saw one on our last cruise.
Yeah.
But that was the first time.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
So just if you don't know that an upside down pineapple means you're open to swing sets, swing things. But again, if you're not, you don't, no one's coming to your door. So
No.
it's fine. And like I said, it's every cruise line. So it's definitely not. And this client was so sweet. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm glad you told me that because I was really starting to wonder." And I was like, I I am a fuddy-duddy. Like, what are we thinking here? But so that's just a not quite the same thing as a topless deck, but things to just be aware of.
Yes, be warned so you're not. I look like a deer in the headlights when I turn, turn around.
I probably would too, because I would just not
Yeah.
be what you're used to seeing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, one more. So the thing that most of the cruises on Virgin Voyages you'll see is a stop at Bimini in the Bahamas. It's not going to be on all the cruises, obviously. So if you're doing like European or there are summer Alaska cruises that are coming up next year. But when you're doing a Bahamas cruise, you'll most likely have a stop at Bimini, Bahamas. And this is their private beach club experience, and it's all included as part of your cruise fare. So when you dock in Bimini, there's going to be some shuttles that will take you from the ship down to the beach club. You could walk it, but it's a pretty lengthy walk, so I would recommend against it, especially in the summer heat. And down there, they have two giant pools, which is great. One pool is kind of like the party pool, and then the other pool is kind of like the more quiet pool. We checked out the party pool on this last cruise and it's so much fun. They have like free inflatables that are around like unicorns and big rainbows and lips. And there was even some that were like cars. They had like a cap on top of them and even had fringe. So everybody was always trying to get to that one. But then they have like a live DJ and the happenings cast during certain hours where they're there like really like partying. But later in the afternoon, people tend to go back to the ships and then it's much more quiet. So if you want a party scene, you can have that for the party scene, or you can have the quiet. And then they also have an amazing beach there. And that's
Yes.
usually where I spend most of my time is on the beach and we're in the water. We did some snorkeling this past time and saw quite a bit of sea life, which was really fun. So highly recommend, if you have your own just mask and snorkel, bring that with you and take it there. Um, they also serve food on there, and it's included as part of the cruise fare. And I thought it was pretty good food. It's a pretty limited menu, so you're not going to get like a huge buffet. And I know if you're not a huge broad eater, you may not like all of that stuff. As I'm seeing Christy shake her head, so I
Yeah.
can imagine you probably had a hard time enjoying all the food that was provided. But I thought it was delicious and absolutely loved it. And then the other thing that I did on my most recent cruise was we rented a cabana. And
Ooh.
Mm.
before, I wasn't sure if I would like the price of that, but after experiencing it, it was really nice. So we rented the cabana. It had like two really soft lounge chairs in it, and then it had a couple other like beanbag chairs like you put out in the front so you could have multiple people. And then you have your own little cooler, and then you get like your own little like cabana boy or girl that will help
Yeah.
you. And they'll bring you the free food from the area that's a little bit farther away. So you don't have to go get the food. And they'll bring you your drinks when you want to order drinks. You can use your bar tab on the Bimini area as well, which was really nice. But the thing I loved about the cabana is at one point we decided to move from the cabana to the pool, and our cabana person followed us. Like they kept
Oh,
coming back and saying, "Oh, you were going to go over here. Let me follow you," and keep bringing you drinks and things as you need them. And I thought that was just incredible that they went that little extra step and followed us over there. So that was really nice. And if you
I love
don't
that.
want to just hang at the pool or the beach, you can also do excursions on Bimini. That's not included. You do have to pay extra for that, but highly recommend. The first time I went there, I did scuba diving, and it was a really great excursion. I love scuba diving anywhere I go. And then this past time I went, we went with some friends who were not scuba certified, so we instead chose snorkeling, and we chose the snorkeling with sharks. And that
ooh.
was an experience because the sharks know that you're coming usually because after you're done and you get out of the water, they feed them. So they're kind of trained to know this boat's showing up. So let's start circling everybody. And they didn't bother anybody. Like they stayed a distance below you kind of thing. I know Christy's like having a heart attack
Oh
right
my
now.
God. Oh my
You've
God, I
got some
No.
can't.
amazing pictures and videos of sharks just like all around you. And then, at a certain point, the boat captain tells you, all right, come on board. Because eventually the sharks, they know they're going to get fed. So they started getting a little crazy towards the end. I was like, all right, it's time to get out of the
Oh
water.
my God.
I would have died.
But yeah, everybody was out of the water and we were cleared. And then they started like throwing chum, fish heads, whatever in the water. And it was just like a frenzy.
Mm,
It was incredible. But
Mm-mm,
there's
no
other
thanks.
less extreme excursions you can do. I saw they had one that was like painting. Like you sit and paint by the sea. It would be so cool. Or you can rent golf carts and drive around the island. There's so much to do at Bimini. So I loved
yes.
it.
I definitely saw in the app, which is where you can get some of those excursions. I saw in the app that there was a shark shipwreck.
That's what we
It,
did.
oh,
Yeah.
I was having a stroke looking at the still photos on the app, and I was like, no, that's
It was two
like,
snorkels. The first one was a shipwreck, so you get to go into a ship that had been purposely stranded. I'd have to go back and look up the lore of it, but it was like an old floating casino that was illegal, and then eventually they stranded it on purpose.
oh.
Don't
Oh,
quote me because I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but it was very interesting. But it was kind of like out of the water, so you could snorkel in through it and like the different sides, and it was really neat.
I love that there is so much to do. And I like that, especially on Virgin, that there is a variety of activities. You can find ways to spend money if you enjoy that, like the spa or in the casino. I will say the smoke-free casino that Virgin has is a
very
hundred,
nice.
like, yes.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
do have smoking areas for those people that are in need of that. But usually on cruise ships, they throw everybody smoking into the casino and there's no way to breathe. So
Right.
here they don't do that. So I watched some people play. I would rather spend my money in a spa than at the tables, but I enjoy kind of watching and that sort of thing, which is cool. But I like how that there is so much going on but also nothing. Like
Right.
it's so relaxing that like we didn't feel bad if we were just like, you know what? We actually on this last one did not go to Bimini. We didn't even get off the ship that day. We
Oh,
enjoyed the quiet. We went to a meditation class. Listen, they have the VHS 80s aerobics class. Not my bag. But the meditation and breathing class was fabulous. We overlooked the water and we like took deep breaths and like all of that. I was here for that. But there's just the options are endless. It's incredible.
hmm.
Yes. I even went down one day and put together a puzzle, and it was like a timed puzzle thing,
Yeah.
and you got to work with other people. And I mean, just a relaxing thing, but it was still something to do. And it was a good time. I think my husband took a nap while I puzzled. And
I
it's
love that.
just, yeah, like it's just chill.
All right, guys. That was an incredible conversation and now I want to go back more than ever. I was hoping
Yes.
that this would be like help with my post-cruise depression, but now I'm like frothing at the mouth, like get me back on that ship. Um, I don't have anything planned though. Do either of you have a placeholder or a Virgin planned?
No, but I may be looking for one after we get off of this call.
Cheeky corner suite.
Right? Ah. All right. A huge thank you to Shalon and Lacie for sharing their expertise and experiences and love for Virgin Voyages with us today. Your insights truly brought this cruise experience to life for me, and I bet for all of our listeners too. If today's episode has you dreaming of sipping cocktails in that hammock on your own sea terrace or cheeky corner suite, or indulging in world-class dining at sea, we'd love to make it happen. You can find contact information for each of us in the show notes, or you can head directly to mickiguru.com and you'll find us waiting for you there too. After all, we're here not only to share our experiences with you, but also to help you enjoy amazing stress vacations of your own. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, tell all your friends. And until next time, happy sailing, and may your next vacation be just as magical as you imagine.
Thanks for listening to Talk Travel to Me. We hope this episode cracked open inspiration for the treasures that await you at your next dream destination. If you love the show, please review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. At Mickey Guru Travel Company, we're your trusted guides for theme parks, cruises, resorts, and more. Visit our website at mickyguru.com to learn more and book your vacation today.